What's up? What's up? What's up?
What's
What's up?
up?
What's up? What's up?
What's up?
Hello.
Yo, man, it's getting too dark
Oh,
there,
shit.
man.
That was pretty cool with the countdown. Haven't seen that before.
Yeah, we do that from now on. From
That's
now on,
pretty
we do that.
pretty epic, pretty hype.
I could edit that countdown to be a NIO logo and stuff next time. Just
Next
too
time,
busy
next
to get it all done. Yeah.
We're still working out
Cool.
the kinks.
Y'all good, Mr. P? Mute. Oh, no. Let me unmute for you a moment. Oh, it said your mic is not connect, yeah? So maybe you sorted out the mic first.
Oh,
All
does
right,
it work
cool.
now?
All right. Yeah, now it's good now. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
All right. So while we're waiting, I just want to check with all the audience if there are some. I saw we have some audience there already. If the sound is okay, if the sound's all good, maybe just let us know where you hear it from, right? If you're in the toilet or anything, do not put the location, yeah, just like which country you are listening from, or watch it from, just to see if you can hear me and hear Eric and Mr. P okay, yeah. Bring up all the comments so we know that it's all good.
Why don't we start with where we're from? Ting, I'm here from Shenzhen. Where are you from right now?
I'm Thai from Beijing. What about you,
Right.
Mr. P?
I'm in Beijing as well.
All right.
All right, cool. Good morning, Dave. Oh, we got some Thai viewer. Don't be deceived by the profile photo. Hi, Nong Panyawat. Thailand. Okay, a lot of Thai fan. Hello, good morning. And hello, Emiliano Zapata. I hope that I pronounce the name okay, yeah. And hi, good evening, Kun Sanyabat. Okay, so I hope that everyone hears well. Okay. Dev is from the US. Must be earlier. I think it's like a early morning.
Should be about
9:30.
6.
Depending on where which state he's from, maybe. But yeah, rise and shine out there.
Should be 8:30, I think, in the morning. I think, or 9:30. I'm not sure.
Cool.
East Coast.
Nice. I saw your Avatar 1.2. Yeah. This week I'll be testing the Avatar 1.2. Yeah. Stay tuned. All right. So I hope you guys are all good, hype up with all the rumors and stuff we're gonna be discussing.
All right. So should we just go ahead and get started?
Yeah. Let's
right.
get started with the intro and all. Yeah.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Blue Sky Coming unofficial, unauthorized, unaffiliated with NIO podcast. NIO is China's #1 luxury electric vehicle, as I'm sure you guys know. It's a leader in flexible, upgradable, swappable electric vehicles here in China. And here on Blue Sky Coming, we are going to be sharing every single week official or unofficial rumors, news, speculation, and our personal experiences with the NIO brand and just EVs in general in China. Now, make sure you subscribe on this platform so you don't miss an episode or any other platform of your choice. And today, we're going to be talking about 2024. It's going to be a 2024 preview. And we have a very special guest as well. It's going to be our very first guest. Obviously, it's our second episode. So we want to bring him on to start the podcast, right?
Yep. He's ready.
All right. So our very first guest is Marnix. Welcome, Marnix, everybody.
Round of applause to Marnix. Welcome.
And Marnix is a user from Belgium.
Yes, in Belgium. Right.
So every week we're going to try to have a guest. Like I said, Marnix is our first user, and we're going to talk to you, Marnix, about your experience with NIO in Europe. So, All right. So Marnix, you got an ET7, and you're the first Belgian user.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about your experience just picking up a NIO and anything you want to share just to start before we start asking you questions?
Yeah, well, it was not easy at the start because NIO is not officially in Belgium as yet. They are in the Netherlands, who is our neighbor country here. So I asked in the Netherlands, can I please buy a NIO from you? And at first they say, No, because it's going to be some issues with service and everything. But after begging some more, they said, "Oh well, okay, we're going to try this out and sell you one to Belgium." Yeah.
And why did you choose an ET7?
Because I like the model very, very much. It's very sporty. I drove the Tesla Model S before, and so the sedan is quite my thing. Yeah. And the ET7 is the most comfy car I ever had, so far. Yeah.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your experience as a user of NIO in Europe in general? Like, I know you've probably seen a lot about what the user experience is like in China.
Yes.
Do you have any comparison that you can share with us?
Yes, already even the community is quite small here in Europe because NIO hasn't sold that many cars yet. My experience with NIO was very good. I have been invited to dinners. I have been invited to the Alps, to Chamonix, a NIO meeting with NIO users from Norway, Germany, the Netherlands. So yeah, very exciting stuff. Yeah. The community is all other NIO users that I met here in Europe. They're really keen on having a NIO community, just like you guys have in China. Yeah.
So how does it work in Europe? Is it the same where if there's an event, you register on the app and use NIO points and that sort of thing? Or is it just more of a...
Not yet. They invite you personally. The app is not that big here yet as in China. Yeah, you cannot do nothing so much. Yeah.
Does the map works? The map in Belgium and Netherlands and all.
Yes,
You got a car from Netherlands, right?
Yes.
And it still can be used in Belgium with the navigation and routes and everything.
Yeah, you can use the app already, but you have to change your phone to the Netherlands location setting of your phone. Yeah, because as NIO is not officially in Belgium, the app officially is not in the App Store yet here. Yeah.
Oh.
But that's not a big issue, and I think they will be coming in 2024 to Belgium as well. I hope so. Yeah.
How about the car connectivity, like the 4G and 5Gs? Does the car connect to the cellular in Belgium?
Yes.
Do you need to change the SIM card or something, or it works?
I needed to buy a Dutch SIM card for the car. Yeah.
Oh, and then you replace it physically.
Yes.
Replace it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know.
But
I have a quick question. Yeah, so being in Belgium and NIO's not officially there, so it's pretty obvious that there probably aren't any swap stations there in Belgium.
No,
So
not yet.
how has the overall ownership experience been in terms of recharging the car and potentially even battery swaps? How many battery swaps have you done with the ET7? Can you answer those questions? Thanks.
Yes. I charge at home mostly, and when I'm on the road, I still use the Tesla superchargers.
Oh wow!
I went a few times to the Netherlands where I could swap, obviously. So I did it like 5-6 times now, the swapping, and I hope they will build a swap station near my house very soon. Yeah, swapping is great. Yeah. If you're on the road, the experience is much better than charging your car at a supercharger or something. Yeah, swapping is much better.
Yeah, once you swap once, then you can't go back.
You cannot go back.
Yeah.
No, and comparing with my Tesla, the whole electric car experience is so much more fun with the NIO than the Tesla. Yeah. The driving, the comfort. You don't drive, you just float over the road. It's amazing. Yeah.
Does the NOP Plus work over there? Like the navigation on pilot?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
yes.
it works in Belgium as well.
Yes. Yes, it works.
And you did mention that you charge at home, meaning the car in Europe. As we know, the NT 2.0 in China you can only charge with the DC,
Okay.
with the DC charger. Yeah. But if you said you charge at home, meaning your ET7 that you bought from Netherlands has the Type 2 standard, right?
Yes.
And CCS combo where you can charge DC and charge at home Type 2 AC.
Charge at 11 kilowatts at home.
Oh, 11 kilowatt at home.
Yeah.
Wow.
I had an electrician to upgrade my system at home. So normally houses here, they can charge at 7 kilowatt, I think.
Yeah. So you get the 3-phase. Yeah, you get the 3-phase AC. Wow. So
that's good.
Because many of the Thai viewer, actually a Thai NIO fan, right? They were wondering, like, if the NT2.0 is only charged with the DC, how can they do sell the car outside of China? So now it's confirmed that in Europe you can charge both AC and DC.
Yes, of course. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah, but swapping is convenient, and that will come in the future in Belgium as well. Yeah.
So Marnix, did you opt for buying the car or subscribing to the car?
I bought the car.
Okay.
Yeah. I thought NIO can use the money. Let's buy the car. Yeah, I bought the car. Yeah, with the BAS subscription. Yeah.
Okay.
Battery as a service, of course.
And I think when we talked at NIO Day a couple of weeks ago, you said there was now actually like 4 or 5 Belgian users. Is that right?
Yeah. A sixth one this week. Yeah.
And so do you guys have a little kind of like Belgian NIO user club as well, or community, or
not yet, but we get invited by the Dutch community. So like next week the 17th of January, I'm going to Amsterdam for New Year's dinner with the NIO. Yeah.
So would you say, in your opinion, that the community aspects of NIO, as a car owner, you have the access to the community, is that actually a real benefit? Because I see oftentimes online people say it's worthless, it's stupid, it's not something you actually want. But how do you feel about it?
I feel differently. Yeah, I've seen the community in the Netherlands. We came together in Chamonix with users from all over Europe, and that was great experiences. You learn about other people. You're making new friendships. Yeah, it's a great way to meet people. Yeah, and I was several times in China now, and I see there the community it works really well. Yeah, and I think we're going to be jealous in Europe about this. We also want summer events, and we also want camping trips, and why not? Yeah.
So you mentioned you saw the community in China. You actually came to NIO Day.
Yes, I did.
So can you tell us how that came to be, and how did NIO support you in that endeavor?
Well, NIO knows my business. I have a business selling bathrooms, and a lot of stuff is coming from China these days. So I often go myself on a purchase trip to China, and somebody from headquarters in Europe here asked me, would you be interested to attend NIO Day in China as well? So, yeah, of course. Of course. And I'm very happy I went to China in December to visit first the F2 factory, and then after I went to NIO Day. Great experience.
Oh, wow. You went to the Hefei factory, right?
Yes.
That was great.
Yeah.
Nice,
so I actually have a question about that, Marnix, about your trip here. Is I understand that NIO, they had a staff come from Europe, right, to kind of help you and Tim out. So like, what else did they do? Like, can you talk about how they kind of, provided amazing, incredible service, if that's what they did, to help you and Tim on your journey here? Well,
they knew I was going to do something for my business as well in China, so I paid for my own trip. I searched for my hotels and everything, and they just helped me. They said, we can help you in any way with your visa application and everything, but as I am used to do this for myself, I said, no, don't bother, I'm going to do this just myself. Yeah. But once I was there, of course, they picked me up at the hotel, brought me back, stuff like that.
Yeah, and it was Tim, another fellow European user, who it was his first time in China too, and he came as well. So I know they helped him a lot to help him plan his trip. So
me too from Europe now. I hope next year on NIO Day in China there will be more users from Europe coming. Yeah, everybody should see how big event this is in China. Yeah.
Think out of the box. You think if the community in Europe is strong enough to host their own, like at least one European NIO Day,
yes,
it would
yes.
be like,
Yes, I think so. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
We lost Mr. P.
Mr. P lost the connection, I think. Okay, he's back. He's right back.
Have you?
I think
Marnix,
so.
Go ahead.
Europe is of course different. You have the language barrier here a little bit. So if they're gonna host in Germany or in the Netherlands or in France, maybe later after, or you always have this language issue here. Like for the rest of the world, it's easy. You do everything in English because I could attend NIO Day in China perfectly in English. They on the event itself, they gave me an in-ear translation. Which was great. But if you have to do this here in Europe, that's going to be more difficult, I think. Yeah, to have a big NIO Day here.
But they could probably do some sort of like European mini NIO Day, right, with announcements for Europe, because they really didn't address anything at all about the European market at NIO Day this year.
No.
So hopefully they have something like that planned.
I think they're going to do something, some announcements for Europe as well. Yeah.
Have you heard anything from NIO regarding that? No.
I keep asking when are you going to start in Belgium? When are you going to start in the UK, France, and everything? But everybody is very tight on the lips. Yeah. No, they don't say nothing. Yeah. I hope they officially will start in 24 in Belgium as well. Yeah. And some other countries. Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like they're slowing down a little bit on their expansion plans just because they've been struggling a little bit in Europe. It looks like one of our commenters asked, has any of your friends, or have you persuaded any of your friends to buy NIO? Or I guess that can kind of lead to, how do you think NIO's chances are in Europe?
Yeah, I persuaded already a few people to buy NIO. Everybody's happy with it. I think the mouth-to-mouth works for NIO in Europe, but it's kind of slow. So I think the marketing division from NIO in Europe has to step up a little bit. Yeah.
How many points? You get some sort of like a referral points and all of this as well? Same like in China?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And the person who bought the NIO, they would get also those sort of benefit.
Yes.
Similar.
Yes.
Okay. So it's about the same.
That's similar. Yeah. Maybe I don't see a lot of marketing here because I'm in Belgium and NIO is not officially in Belgium now. Maybe in Germany and the Netherlands, there's a lot more marketing stuff going on, but you don't really see it here, of course.
So, Marnix, when I was in Belgium with my ET7, and that's actually how we met the first time.
Yes.
Has any similar thing happened for you since you've had your car, where people have been curious about the car?
Yes, of course. A lot of people are curious about the car, and I always ask them to get in the car or have a little test drive around the block or something. Yeah. A lot of people know the brand, especially young people. They know it because a lot of them have invested in shares on the stock market. Yeah. That's how they know the brand. Yeah, but the people who actually can afford the NIO brand, no, they just don't know it. But they're surprised about how good it looks and how it drives. Yeah. So
actually, yeah, we also see like many of question comes and asks about the UK or right hand drive market, right?
Yeah.
James or Jam here as well. They were looking for availability of the right hand drive,
Yes.
and even in APAC as well, like in Thailand, Malaysia, and some other places. So I think right hand drive seems to be forgotten somehow.
Yeah.
What's your thought on that? Anyone here? Like, what are your thoughts on the right hand drive? When it's gonna be, and
I
whether
think
they look at it at all?
this year they're going to launch the right-hand drive as well. They have
I would
Wow.
say,
Yeah, for the
They have
ET5 and ET5T. It's,
recruiting.
ET5T.
Yeah, I see on LinkedIn they recruit already a lot of people in the UK. So
Okay. So
I
that's a
think-
good news for our UK fellow here over here, right? So that's good.
yeah,
I was in Hong Kong yesterday, and there was like every third car is a Tesla. So there's obviously a really not a huge market because Hong Kong is a pretty small place, but the electric car market there is pretty significant. So
Yeah.
I would hope that they actually move into Hong Kong as well.
yeah, there are so many other countries with right-hand drive. So
Yeah, see many from the UK. Yeah, UK has to come to UK.
yeah, I see
This
here.
is, by the way, yeah. Ellis here, he watched from Twitter. So this is when you're a fan.
Okay.
All right. Cool, man. Cool.
It has to come eventually, and I think 24 is. Yeah, they need to expand. Otherwise, BYD is going to eat the whole market up here.
Yeah.
so apparently they're going to expand to the UAE first by June. That's what the CEO said.
Yeah.
So we haven't really heard anything about the rest of Europe. They said by 2025 they'll be in like a lot more European countries, but we'll have to see.
Mhm.
Do you have any insight into that, Mr. P? We can talk more later because this episode we're going to talk about 2024 rumors and speculation. But for now, do you have any insight into that besides UAE?
UAE is guaranteed for June. Like the CEO himself said it. It's 100%. So that's pretty good. But the rest, I mean, 2025, it seems like they're slowing things down in Europe, like you said. And they're taking things one step at a time because they are incurring quite a bit of expenses, right? So they got to watch out on the cash burn. So
Yeah.
that's why they're slowing things down a little.
Mhm.
All right.
I mean,
Go ahead, Ting.
no, I recall one of the NIO day when William had the sort of like strategic plan, right? And on the 2025, the dot on the map is actually shows UK and Australia. I forgot which NIO day was that.
It was
When-
Sujo.
2 years ago, I think.
Sujo was
Sujo.
the one that he announced the ET5 maybe.
Yeah.
ET5, yeah. And the plan for
Oh, yeah.
2025, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Now
think
that-
The
that's.
dot shows up.
Now that you mentioned Australia, actually, it seems like they're going to move into Australia pretty soon because quite recently, Audi sued NIO in Australia for the naming again. So,
That's
and that was
different
an
number, right?
Australian lawsuit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
it
yeah,
seems like they're making grounds in Australia as well. So that's pretty interesting.
So it's quite promising that 2025 we'll see either UK or Australia or even both maybe.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool.
I think 24
But I think
is going to be.
But I think we should not hold our hopes too high because remember when NIO IPO'd, they said they were going to go into the US by 2020. So obviously that did not happen. So I get just keep hope for the best, but be prepared for the worst. Maybe it'll be delayed further.
So, Marnix, we have another question from one of the users. They asked, "Will you be buying the ET9?"
Oh yes.
Oh yes.
No questions.
Oh
For
yes.
sure.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah, that's such an amazing car. Yeah.
Yeah.
I still have it 1 year to save a little bit money for it. So yeah.
I guess it'll probably be a little bit later in Europe anyway than China. So you have a little bit more than a year probably.
Yeah. I just wanna drive with champagne glasses on the roof of my car.
Oh man. If anyone missed it, you can check out one of Mr. P's video, right? Where some of I think he's sure, right? They try to do the same kind of test with what, Maybach?
The Maybach.
Yeah, Mercedes Maybach, and then also Li Auto L9, and then also a Toyota car, and they all failed the champagne test.
Yeah.
You know, I was a little jealous of you, Marnix, at NIO Day. You were sitting way up in the front. They gave you VIP ticket.
Yeah. I felt like a VIP. Yeah.
Me and Ting were sitting way in the back.
Yeah.
We were like, hey, he posted some photo there, and he was like right in front of the stage, you know.
Right in the front. Yes.
So they treat you EU guys pretty good.
Yes. They did. Yeah. I was very happy with. It was like a little child on Christmas morning, NIO Day. Yeah.
Better than Christmas.
Yeah.
So, guys, we've had Marnix here for about 25 minutes, and Marnix, you're definitely welcome to stay if you want to. If you guys have any more questions before we wrap up the interview and discussion with him portion, before we move on to predictions for 2024, do you guys have anything else you want to ask him? Ting?
No, actually, my main question was about the AC and DC charger. That cleared up my mind now.
Okay.
And even with 3-phase 11 kilowatt, as Manik says, it's even better. It's like, most of the Chinese cars sold in Thailand now is only 7 kilowatt AC. So NIO is,
here's one interesting question. What are some things that you would like NIO to improve on?
Well, software can be a little better. It's not big issues, but some software things can be a little better. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't know. Yeah. I keep comparing it with my former Model S from Tesla, and it's in any way better. Yeah. I just haven't got Netflix in the car. That's all.
That's nice. That's good to hear.
It's a much better car. The finishing, the materials they used on the interior, it's classy. It's premium. Yeah. I'm not here to bash on Tesla, because thanks to Tesla, NIO is existing now, I guess. But others are doing better than Tesla now. Yeah, and people should look into that. Yeah.
I was just pulling up some of the questions, right? If you guys got some question even on Twitter, just type it on the comment section. I can see it, so I can bring it up if there are some questions for Manix. I believe this is regarding some charging speed in Europe. I think there is not possible yet. Kenneth said that it's not possible yet, or
I'm not sure. I should check this in the car, but I think it's possible to set the charging speed. I suppose that's possible. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that the time duration you can set, that's for sure. But like to set the limit of the current on the charger, you should be able to do so. But from the car side, I'm not so sure.
Yeah, from the inside of the car, I think from the software in the car, I think you can do it.
Yeah. There's someone asking about the deal here. Another signed deal right before NIO Day. It hasn't been announced yet.
Yeah, everybody's wondering about that deal, I guess. Yeah, who is it?
You see Mr. P smiling, just know something. He just doesn't want to spit out. Come on, man! You need to help out the podcast here too, man.
In Europe, we hold Mercedes-Benz.
Yeah. There's so many people here, employees already celebrating Mercedes-Benz, but like, well, we don't know. So we don't know for sure until like they officially say it, right? Who knows?
Who knows?
Yeah.
We got some questions over there about the Nio phone. Marnix, what do you think about that? Are you tempted to get one?
Yes. I asked when I was in China if it would work in Europe, and they say, yeah, if you just want to use it as a phone, it's going to work, but it's not going to work together with your Nio car because the software is not written yet for Europe. And
it has to be officially, it has to be officially launched along with the edition of the European car.
At least till Q4 24. So I didn't buy it now. Yeah.
But you got to play with it a little bit while you were there, right?
Yes, and it's nice. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm an iPhone user, so it's gonna be my first Android phone. And I'm not sure if I'm gonna like that, but who knows? Yeah, I'm gonna try it. Yeah.
You got to have two phones, like me, and like a lot of the NIO users, they all have an iPhone and a NIO phone now.
Yeah,
I mean, what's not to like? It's one of the best Android phone I use, like the cleanest one. You know, no apps, nothing. Like you install what you need. Yeah, you want something, you add it in, but you don't need to like being forced to use stuff that you don't need. I love it, man.
Yeah.
EP edition.
There's another question there.
I like it very much. Yeah.
There's another one from James here. How do you find out the feedback on you owning the Chinese car? Wow. That's bullying over there, man.
Nobody jokes about that car. No, everybody's very surprised that is a Chinese car. I think that the ages where China made bad quality stuff, this is just behind us now. Yeah, China is the leader in technology now. Yeah, they're leading the path. Yeah.
A lot of people would be very surprised to hear that, though.
Yeah, but it's true. They're leading the path. Yeah, they're even better than a Mercedes-Benz or a BMW or an Audi. So, yeah, they cannot compete with NIO. I think they're gonna have even trouble, the Germans, to compete with BYD. So, yeah. But NIO is so much above everybody else. Everybody should check it out and have a test drive when they can. Yeah.
For sure. And if you do a test drive, make sure you use Marnix's code so you can get more referrals.
Yeah,
I'm sure you can share it on Twitter if you haven't already.
Be sure to share that on Twitter and maybe share with us after the show, so we'll add it to the description.
Yes.
So anyone that do the test drive, you can use his code. And in fact, if like some question regarding the app registration, even in the US, you can still like download the European app, right? But it's not like really, well, it's just for you to see how it is, but it's not like feasible as in buying stuff or buy a car, right? But you get the feeling of how the app would be, you know. Yeah.
But it's not even on the American App Store yet.
Work the Chinese app, you can do a lot more in the Chinese app than you can do in the European app right now.
Yeah.
It needs some work here in Europe.
The NIO app, to be honest, needs a lot of work. Like you can't even search in the app. There's no search function, so you can't really go back and see other people's questions, or it's not super functional. It's really pretty basic.
Yeah.
All right. Any more questions, guys? P? Ting?
Nope.
No, I'm actually looking at all the past question. If I missed something. We just I just like to thank everyone. It seems like everyone joining from all around the places. One from New Zealand, from Greece, and from other places. Thanks a lot, you guys.
Amazing.
We try to keep this weekly, so stay tuned in there.
And we also need to thank Marnix as well for joining us, because it's middle of his workday today.
Yeah, just here at work, but I'm the boss. Nobody's gonna say nothing.
Oh, I like that one.
but still, we really do appreciate you taking the time and coming on our show here and being our very first guest. So
Thank
that's
you
pretty
for
cool.
inviting me. Yeah.
Yeah, we do apologize though if things are not like, you know, so smooth sometimes. Maybe I don't know.
Good.
Oh, okay. Well, this might be during Beijing Motor Show, yeah. The
Beijing
launch
Motor
of
Show.
Alps and Firefly, yeah, like around April, I think.
Yeah.
So it's the like last year was the Shanghai Motor Show, the largest one, and this year would be Beijing, and next year would go back to Shanghai. So it's, they keep alternate the major shows here. So I think ours would be like April, right, Mr. P? Is that the
Well,
room?
I heard probably within Q1. So the next
Okay,
3
so
months,
that's about
probably,
Q1, yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very soon.
So do we want to move on to the next portion of our show here, or we just?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Meanwhile, if there's some questions coming in, we can just put
Okay.
in when it's valid, right?
Okay.
Mr. P, maybe spill up some of the, you know. By the way, if you guys want to join in the WeChat group of the NIO owners in China, do let us know. If you are like a NIO owners in China and you happen to see the show, we more than welcome to add you in. Yeah, quite a warm group there. So, all right.
So Marnix, do you want to stick around for the remainder of the show? Another
Yes,
20.
stick around a bit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
He's the boss, man. He's the boss.
Right, but I don't want to waste his time. You know, I said we'll do a 20-minute interview or so.
And boss, I stay all day, man.
We're happy to have you here to join in the conversation, but I just don't want to make sure you know.
Thanks for your time, man. Thanks a lot for your time. Yeah.
All right, so I guess the next portion of our show is kind of moving on to Mr. P's news and rumors from the week or predictions for the coming year. What do we want to talk about?
All right, let's just wrap up some of the updates. So very quickly, actually, last week, so the week following the year end, they actually did very good in terms of deliveries here in China. They delivered like 5,700 in a week insurance registration. So that was pretty amazing. And in terms of rumors and leaks, there's actually quite a few big ones. So I've heard that NIO is going to focus more on high end and then have the sub-brand really capture the mass market area. So they're thinking about moving some of the like ET5, ET5T, ES6, those cars into like possibly the sub-brand and just move it down to the sub-brand and then have the NIO main brand focus more on like 7, 8, 9, like that kind of stuff up there. That's like really premium. And I've heard from the NIO owner of 23 NIOs that apparently they're planning on potentially getting rid of the ES7 and just have like the ES8 have like the 6-seater and 7-seater version of the ES8 and have that as the SUV to go for. Yeah, so that's a pretty big rumor. And then also apparently it's also rumored that NIO has already received L3 certification and they're just like holding it in and not telling people about it. And then when the time comes and everything's ready, they're gonna let everybody know about it, and then it's gonna be a big surprise. And like right now, the cars, right, NT2.0 cars can pretty much do like L3 stuff, and it's not fully L3 yet. They're just waiting, I guess, more waiting. Yeah.
Yeah, Mr. P, somebody actually just commented this, and I kind of have the same thought, is their sales volume drivers, like the ES6, the ET5T, like there's almost, I personally don't see that as going to a sub-brand when that's like their best seller. I don't know, what do you guys think about that?
Well, it's more like they want to expand the price range for the sub-brand and make it reach higher, and not in a essence like just be like 200K-ish price territory, but like also into the 300K-ish. Whereas NIO, they want NIO brand to be the high-end one and just 400K and above. R&B, of course R&B. So that's the rumor I've heard from guys in the know, but that's
Seems like a way
definitely
to
obviously a quite few years out though. It's not gonna happen like this year or next year. Yeah.
seems like a way to kneecap yourself a little bit, but what do I know?
Yeah, like I've always thought like it was pointless to have the sub brand, right? Because if you think about it, BMW, they have all the cars as the BMW brand, right? From X1, the cheapest one, all the way to X7, the most opulent one. And it's pretty dumb, I think, to like split it up and have like X3 and X2, X1 in like a sub brand. Think about that. That would be pretty stupid, right? So even like also a lot of former NIO employees, they've also expressed this feeling that NIO would sell much better if the sub brand was just canceled and then they sell it as like ET3 or like a ES3 and like that, like sort of like what BMW does. So I share the same feeling as well, but I don't know why. Like they just don't want to dilute the brand, I guess. And this is a management, right?
I mean, I think NIO
we'll
wants
have
to
to
be
see what they want to do.
I think the NIO brand wants to be more of an aspirational brand, right? And then the sub brand would be more of like a general public kind of mass market brand. I think they want to have different positioning in the market for these two brands, which I think is pretty understandable to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think the other way of viewing it is you don't see Tesla creating a sub brand for the Model 3 and Model Y, right? Yeah. So that's the other argument for it. So I guess we'll have to see what things turn out to be.
Some has compared to Volkswagen with a lot of brands and work very well. Oh.
Yeah.
Correct.
But NIO CEO did say recently that the ET5, ET5T are the cheapest NIOs that you will ever be able to buy. So that's pretty much guarantees there won't be any NIO that will ever be cheaper than that. So that's the absolute bottom in terms of pricing for NIO. Everything else is going to be above. And we saw on NIO Day, ET9, right? We used to be at 7, 8, now we're at 9. What are we going to be at, 10, 11 next year? So we'll see. Yeah.
The comment just now, you were mentioning that the ET5 is the lowest price to begin with from NIO, right? But if they would have, like you also did say in some of your videos as well, like the single motor variant, like a rear-wheel drive, similarly like a Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive or Model Y. In fact, the Model Y rear-wheel drive may be one of the best-selling car in the world now. I mean, just the affordability, you know. So they might look at some of that options in the sub brand, or are they gonna implement that into the current line of vehicles? You know.
From what I've heard, NIO's never gonna have a single motor variant. Yeah.
NIO brand will not have.
Yes.
Okay. NIO brand will not have.
Will.
Okay.
Yeah, the sub brand will definitely have
the
a single
sub-brand
motor
will.
variant. Yeah. And the reasoning is the same reasoning because it's more stable, you know, it's more redundancy. NIO's all about redundancy. If one motor breaks, then you have another one as backup. And also it's all about performance and everything. And, you know, it's what NIO stands for. So it makes sense, right? It makes sense. Even though we all want to see like a single motor ET5, like especially for some ladies, it might not be necessary for them to have so much performance. So, but that's NIO's argument. And then, yeah. And then, but they said that for the sub brand, they will give customers everything they want. So like it's single motor, good range, good specs, good performance, easy to use, good operating cost, and just target whichever car model in that price sector that sells the best, and they're gonna go after it. And in the CEO's own words, they're gonna like go shirtless and fist first. So that's what they said. So yeah.
We got the NIO official from Twitter. Hello,
Okay.
NIO.
Hello.
I wonder who that could be.
Wow, honor to have a real Nio. That's one of the others. Thank you very much.
Maybe we can soon be not the unofficial NIO podcast, but become the official NIO podcast.
Yeah, maybe Nio can give us some official information for us to spill in here. So it's going to be sort of almost official podcast, you know.
Well, definitely the more followers, subscribers we get, the more likelihood we have a chance to get some real NIO employees on the podcast too, for interviews in the future. So
NIO UK, Great Britain.
Make sure you guys subscribe.
Be sure to subscribe. You follow from Twitter and all. Yeah.
Cool. So I know we did want to talk about our predictions for the coming year, and I did see somebody already asked as well about the coming 36 months. They said, with Shanghai implementing 36 months residential status, will January and February sales drop by 20%? So for 2024, guys, let's just talk about our thoughts on what the sales in China could be for NIO.
So I guess I'll start off. Well, it's definitely harder, right? It's definitely harder to get a license plate. And I saw I saw the breakdown for deliveries for November in terms of per city, all right? And Shanghai is always first. Shanghai is always the number one spot in terms of delivery. They have a ton of new houses. They got a ton of delivery centers, and they just sell tremendously well. And it's all because, well, it's super easy to get a license plate. You just buy it. You just buy NIO and you get a license plate. You buy EV, you get a license plate. And the rules were quite loose. You just had to pay 12 months of social insurance within a 24-month period, and you're qualified. And it's that easy. But now, even here in Beijing, and I guess Ting could also agree, like, even if you have the money to buy a NIO or buy any EV, if you don't have the license plate permission, like, it's just near impossible unless you want to rent the permission from someone else or buy it off of someone else. And otherwise, it's just not possible for you to buy a EV, a car in general. It's just the government restriction for traffic jams. But I saw that for November, Beijing was ranked number 5 in terms of deliveries. Shanghai was ranked number 1, and obviously that's really reflective on the license plate restrictiveness, because here in Beijing, it's just extremely strict in terms of license plates. So it's just crazy. But I think that in 2024, even though it's going to be harder, there's still going to be a lot of people that want to buy NIOs. All right. And there's still going to be very good incentives. NIO's got a lot of incentives that they can still pull out of their hat. And I think deliveries might fall a little bit, but I think overall 2024, they'll do fairly okay. And then especially once they do a chip refresh that's coming maybe in Q3, and that Q3, Q4, I think numbers will really be pretty good. But overall, I think, yes, it is very more restrictive now than before, but that's not going to stop people from buying a NIO, all right? That is not going to stop people from buying an EV. If people qualify and they've been working in Shanghai for 3 years consecutive social insurance payments, they still qualify for free license plates. I mean, so it's just the pool of people that can get a free license plate is definitely a bit smaller, but it's still going to be there's still going to be a lot of people that want to buy NIOs. Yeah.
So they sold 160,000 cars last year. Do you guys think that they will surpass that in this year, 2024?
So how about you guys answer first?
Ting, what do you think?
Well, I mean, I just want to point out these two peak here, right? This is when we had the last, really a last batch of the 4 or 6 time free swaps, or the 30 time free swaps, these 2 months, I think. And after that, it was only paper swap, right? Like you go and pay as if you charge the car, same thing. So you pay for your swap. So I see a good trend here, in my opinion, because this is the last. It's just the last of the batch of the free swap, and that's it, right? No more. So I don't see any issue with this pick. It should be, because if you give it as a last promotion and you won't get this ever, this number show itself, right? Like people still want those type of perks, right? But then if you look at this trend here, it's still going into the right direction towards the year end. Now that Q1 how it's going to be, it all depends. I cannot say like a figure, but I do hope that will be much better than here, than the same time last year. I mean, yeah, same time last year. Hopefully.
So I mean, for
Yeah,
me,
that's
I personally wouldn't predict them to sell over 200,000 cars. That's just my feeling. I think they'll probably be in the same range. When I was looking at this chart as well the other day and thinking about it, of course, I think the next few months are going to be slower. They probably will drop 20-30%, like that person asked, 20% or so. January is always slow, and you have Chinese New Year, but I do think they'll, do 15K ish per month. That would be my guess moving forward. 15, 20K per month, especially once they refresh the cars as well. So I don't see them like going to zero or anything.
No, not into the 1,000 like range. I think we still could hit the 10K and above each month. Again, just my hope. but like if the sub brand is there, starting deliver from Q2, let's say Q2 or Q3, there could be a separate chart for the sub brand, in which it would boost the confidence into the brand as well, the NIO brand itself as well, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think like and for the NIO brand, I think it might be hard to surpass 160,000 vehicles. But if you add on the sub brand, and I think then I think it'll be easily over 160,000 total vehicles. But that's like Q3 launch, and like no hiccups, and the market receives the car very well, and people love the car. So that's all like under like good conditions. I think NIO will do fantastic.
So P, you think they'll sell possibly less than 160,000 cars? So you think they'll average what, 12K a month for the year?
I think the chart in 2024 will look quite similar to this chart actually. Q1 and Q2 will actually be quite slow in my opinion. And then Q3, because the chip refresh is coming eventually, everybody knows, 8295. The only reason that it doesn't really matter is because some people, they need to buy a car right away before their license plate permission expires. So they might not have the luxury to wait. So they'll just buy a car right away. But people like people that have a car and they know and they do research about the EVs here in general, 8295 is already here. So it's some people are just waiting for that for Q3 and Q4, and then combine that with the sub-brand launch Q3, Q4, then you got a very good explosive deliveries for those two areas, for those 2 quarters.
So Marnik, since you're still here, what do you think about sales in Europe moving forward? How do you feel about that?
Hopefully they will go forward. Yeah. They haven't done that bad, I think, in Germany. Sales are not great, but not so bad either. So with every car getting sold now, you get some mouth-to-mouth marketing and their friends being shown, and then some brand awareness being out there. I hope they will do great in 24. Yeah.
I know you're not in you're in Belgium, you're not in a NIO market yet, but Netherlands is pretty strong market for NIO, at least in terms of Nio Power. They have tons of power swap stations. Mm-hmm. Has that helped to increase the sales in Netherlands? Have you seen it?
I'm not sure. I've seen the sales of the Netherlands. They sold about more or less 250 cars last year. So that's not huge. Yeah, that's not. But they only have one. Last year they only had one, like smaller NIO house. They still call it a NIO house, but it's more like a NIO space in Rotterdam. Now Amsterdam is going to open this spring That's going to be, I think, the second biggest NIO house in Europe, in Amsterdam. It's a very big one, on a spot on location where it used to be an Abercrombie and Fitch store. Yeah, I think that's going to be for the brand awareness in Europe very good, because Amsterdam is a city with millions of tourists coming every year. Yeah, let's hope that they can bring the word out. Yeah. It's not easy to bring it out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to start a new brand for sure, especially from China.
Especially I hear in Europe, and it's also going to be like this in China, that the second brand, or the Alps, is not going to be sold through the new channels, but in some partnerships maybe, or we can only guess who it's going to be in Europe, because I think they're going to use some established partnerships for that. They need another brand to help them sell these cars here then.
Said there's some policy also like restrict on some countries. I think I heard the same from Frankie regarding the sales in Germany, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like they got the swap station, but they can't use it. So it's just like, kind of like a...
Yeah,
they've built a lot of swap stations in Germany, but most of them they're closed. Every time you open the charging map, they're closed, and they have no real communication as to when they're going to open, which seems to be a big problem.
Yeah.
Well, the reasoning behind that is because apparently, I think you might know more about this, but apparently in Germany, swap stations are considered buildings, and then they need like a permit, and that takes like 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And that's what the NIO president said. So it's like, it's really stupid. In their opinion, it's very stupid. Like they have all the strength to deploy swap stations, but they can't get approved.
Yeah, that's all over Europe, the same issue. They need a permit to open up a swap station, and that's very difficult to get that permit here out. Yeah. In China, they can just say, "Oh, we're going to add another 1,000 swap stations next year." In Europe, it's never going to work like this. And like
big
this
challenge.
is also because NIO is a Chinese company, that they don't have the governments completely in favor for the brand. That doesn't help as well, I think, because they're a Chinese company. Like I read this morning, some Dutch company making machines to make chips, computer chips, have lost their permit to export to China some important machines now. So I think that's an issue. Geopolitics is also an issue in this issue for the power swap stations.
For sure.
Maybe it's maybe they should more look into the partnerships like they have with Shell or something to build power stations, swap stations here in Europe. It's going to be easier to place them next to a Shell.
Yeah. Sounds more logical actually, because they got already established all the infrastructure on their part. So if you like sort of like be their partner or something.
Now a lot of these swap stations are built next to Tesla superchargers. So, and that's maybe easier also to get a permit at locations. Yeah.
I know another issue with the swap stations that are actually open in Europe, they're not open 24/7. They have staff there. They have limited hours, which is also seems to be a problem for users in Europe. Any insight on that?
Most of them now are without staff already. Every station I visited in the Netherlands and Germany already didn't have any staff anymore, but they I don't know why they close at like 23 hours or something in the evening. Not sure why that is. Yeah.
Is it like possibly like vandalism fears, or
maybe? Yeah.
But that's a big negative
so
if you're road
yeah.
tripping in a NIO and you can't swap in the night. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. I'm not sure why that is. Yeah, I know when I go to the Netherlands, I need to swap. I have to do it before I think 11 p.m. Yeah.
Hopefully they can
In
work that
Europe,
out.
it's like V2 or V3 now. The swap
V3
station
now.
most V3
now already. Yeah.
I think for Belgium you get this.
The V4.
Yeah. For Belgium you will get the V4.
I've seen some pictures on passing on the internet from a swap station for 2 cars at the same time. Have you seen the picture? So the battery house is in the middle, and then you get on the 2 sides a place to. I thought that was a good idea for NIO, so they could swap out 2 batteries at the same time.
Probably
I was
somebody's
a bit surprised
concept
on NIO Day that they didn't use that model for the.
So it's like instead of the charger here in this picture, it's another bay that you can actually swap as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be a good idea as well.
Because now when the slot is occupied, then it's occupied. You need to wait 3 minutes. Yeah. Don't look. Come on, man. Okay. Don't look. Huh? And yeah, some agree also that a heavy marketing is needed. I think that's the same for China, right, Mr. P? Like a lot of them, they actually they don't know what's the swap station. Actually, some of my neighbor, they also they don't know. They know the brand, this logo, but they're just like, yeah, why I see this car running a lot. Like what's good with it, you know? When I said the swap station, then they were so surprised because they thought it's just the EV you plug and charge and all of this. But when you say you can just swap battery and then just go, you know, you don't need to wait and charge. And they were so surprised, which means this part of the information is like sort of missing in the big scale here, right? Like even people who see NIO running every day, you know.
Exactly. Yeah. People might know about NIO cars, but they don't know about NIO battery swap. That's the thing. I think NIO should be advertising battery swap more than the car, because the battery swap is what sells the cars and not the cars itself.
Yeah.
So that's
and the car is already good. I mean, the car itself is good, right? Like when you distinguish between 2 good cars, one can swap and one cannot swap. It's just like a really simple question here, right?
Yeah.
So
it's kind of wild though that people still don't understand it, because even the stations now, a lot of them have signage that says it's a battery swap station and it says swap your battery in 3 minutes, and people still, like, I don't know if they just can't read or they don't understand even the concept of power swap, right? So there's a huge disconnect there from like the public and what they know.
I tell you a story. I went to swap one time, and after I finished my swap, when I drove out, one of the guys who charged at Nio Power, right? He's kind of wave at me, and then I rolled down the window, and he asked me, like, "Hey, if your battery is degrade, you can just come here and swap, right?" I said, "Yes, you don't need to wait until it degrade. I swap every time when I run out to like 2 or 3%. I come swap here every day, every time." And he was like, "Oh, it's not only for like a battery service or something." So, no, it's for like daily use. The guy was thinking like this station is for like NIO user who usually like I think my battery start degrade, so I need to like replace my battery. It's like replace battery station, not like big swap station.
Yeah, messaging is a big challenge.
Even they saw, right? When they charged, they saw like many cars come and swap. But he still thought that, maybe a lot of NIO cars has so many degraded battery. That's why you need to come and service every time. No, it's like daily use, man. It's like I run to Shanghai all the way swapping. There's no issue at all. Then he was like, okay. And he was driving the brand, the best selling EREV brand, and charging at NIO Power.
That's so Lehigh.
Not to mention.
Is NIO doing any commercials or something about this swapping in China, or not at all? Is it all just mouth to mouth?
They have ads for the cars, but not for battery swap. No.
Not for battery swap.
Yeah.
They do have tons of social media like information. I open Xiaohongshu, like Red Book or whatever, every day, and I see tons of NIO posts. It's probably just because I'm into NIO, I guess, but you see a lot of power swap stuff there.
Yeah,
at least I do. So I don't watch TV though.
So Manix, you need to promote stuff from Belgium with all the user community. Maybe you need to start the Belgian NIO user community.
Yes.
Start with one and then expand to, you do that, man. And post some on your Twitter so people can okay, even though Belgium is not official market for NIO, but this guy is happily, using it over there. You use the 100 kilowatt hour battery, right?
Yes.
The big one.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the beauty.
Yeah.
Cool. All right.
I
want to clarify this thing a little bit. Yeah. Just a quick one. What Mr. P said, wait for a new chip, and the one I mentioned that people know NIO and didn't know the battery swap. These are two completely separate groups, I tell you.
Yeah.
So just to be clear,
yeah, there's like fanatics, right? There's people who are fans of cars, and then there's just the general public.
Yeah, I was one of them. Mr. P know me like two years already since our first meet, and I just got my NIO like few months back because I'm one of that. People will wait a little bit until the last straw was like the last batch of battery swap and no more. I said, okay, I need to get it, even though I was waiting for NT 3.0 before I buy. At that time, I made my promise to myself, right? But then since that last perk is available, just need to pull the trigger. Yeah. So these are two completely separate groups, I think. All right.
Did you ever tell us why you chose? Oh, go ahead, Pete. Go ahead.
So I want to talk more about the entire market. So it's actually very hard for competitors actually right now. And I know you guys are all familiar with Expo, but Expo here in Beijing, they actually closed down a lot of their stores, and they've moved to dealership model actually. That's very interesting. And if you look at the market cap wise, Expo is actually bigger than NIO, but they have so fewer stores compared to NIO. And the overall prediction by the CEO for the next 2 years is that the market is going to be even more intense, more competitors in the market. It's going to be a bloodbath. And they said that it's going to be the final elimination phase for a lot of EV makers. A lot of EV makers won't make it through. So I think with all that said, we can all agree NIO is definitely going to survive. But I think that we should all be very happy that NIO gets around 150,000 or maybe 160,000 deliveries next year in 2024, and maintain that level of deliveries would be fantastic actually, in relatively compared to all the other companies that are actually dying down, right? So I've recently heard that Hi-Fi is in big trouble, and I think you guys all probably might have driven Hi-Fi as well. And so it's a lot of these companies are slowly, gradually being eliminated, and NIO is still strong, firm inside the whole entire EV industry. They got 50% market share in the luxury EV space. All right, and in big cities like Shanghai and the surrounding areas, they sell way more than BMW and Mercedes in terms of all their vehicles. So even if you compare it to BMW and Mercedes, their gasoline cars, NIO still sells more than them in Shanghai. So I think that's an incredible feat. So I think people should lower their expectations a little bit and be happy that NIO is definitely going to survive and come out stronger, but know the fact that a lot of the other guys, they're not going to make it. And Xpeng CEO also said the same thing. The next 2 years are going to be the elimination years. People are going to die down. There's no more subsidy. The EV purchase is going to be taxed. It's going to be harder. So many competitors entering the market. So keep your expectations in check, but understand that NIO will come out stronger than ever.
Yep, I do have a high hope for NIO. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me put this screen up a little bit, just to show you guys the current stat now. So we are at now 2,327 swap, right? Help me with Chinese here, Mr. B. I'm not sure it's around. Must be. And the charging pile, over 21,079.
Yep.
So I think it's actually like I mentioned in the last live stream also, like I see a lot of Tesla charge at Nio Power. So because if you compare the price, Nio Power is still really competitive compared to Tesla or other guys, right? So I think Nio Power is one of the business that will like really heavily generate the revenue this year and forward, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Especially if you look on the left side of the map of China, like even though like it looks sparse, there aren't that many chargers there, but know that some of those chargers, like NIO's chargers, are the only ones there. So if you're driving a EV or even like some EREVs, they if they want to charge, they can only charge at a NIO charger. And apparently NIO's been like really jacking up the price of those chargers to like, make a profit. So yeah.
It's hard to find the route that the EV could go this far. I mean, Eric, you drove around China, right? Like if you go all to the west, it's like really, really difficult to get there with an EV. Weather-wise, also infrastructure. So if you look at this route, it's like this is the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, and when I did that like 2 years ago, or I guess almost 3 years ago now, it was obviously a lot less developed as well. Not just NIO, but everybody. So I had to make use of the mobile charging van a couple times.
But that was before the Power Journey route has been set up, right? It was like 2 years ago. Yeah.
That was
so at that time. I mean, the dot is not that crowded. I can tell you that. At that time, probably like the density would be similar to this one, maybe. Yeah. But now we are like all over. The coverage is pretty good actually. So.
Yeah, now you can go anywhere in China. It's really incredible.
Yeah. Yep. So Nio Power, I think it's going to be a rise and shine. And also the latest deal which Nio Power signed with what's the brand called, Mr. P? Longyi, the solar. How to pronounce that? Longyi.
Longyi, yeah.
Longyi, yeah. So they just signed a corporate partnership there as well. So, no wonder with the version 4 power swap station, they would have the solar panels and everything. They may like enhance all the V2 or V3 that are still around as well, right? So that's good partnership too. Magnus, so we had a promise here, yeah? So not to put much pressure, but we book your time later when the boss is free. Okay, James, we'll try our best to book my next time. We check if the boss is free first, and then he'll be back. He'll be back. Yeah.
We're definitely going to have a lot of different guests on this show each week. We're going to try to have at least one guest, hopefully. So
I'll check with him. I'll check with him if Bjorn is free. He doesn't make plan to go back to Thailand this year, so he could be free for some quick live stream. Yeah.
But Marnix is definitely welcome back anytime he wants to join us, for sure.
Great.
Yeah, you can be our regular guest, weekly guest.
Any fresh updates from Europe, we can get Marnix on the horn, have him tell us what's going on out there.
Yeah. So Mr. P will be like
my ears
China.
open, for the next NIO meeting here in the Netherlands.
Yeah, you can report back to us.
Yeah.
Do we have any other predictions for 2024, guys?
To me, I have a really high hope for NIO and NIO Power, because I still do believe that infrastructure, even though some might say it might not be a factor of people to buy a car, but soon they will realize, they would realize that it's actually play quite a big deal when you make decision to buy a car.
Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, I wouldn't make the trip to Shanghai within less than 13 hours without the swap station. Because when I tried with my Tesla, it took me 18 hours. So, sure. I mean, infrastructure really, matters when you do a road trip. Not to mention the experience when you use the car in general. I mean, for a road trip, it's a clear winner. I don't see any bucket there. So
power swapping is definitely the way to go. I see people all the time online. They say, "Oh, sitting there and charging is not so bad. It's not so bad." But like when I drove to Yunnan in October, I did 1,000 kilometers with 3 power swaps. That's 15 minutes a time, and they're all on the highway in China now. There's so many on the highway as well. And then when I actually was in Yunnan, where there's fewer power swap stations, I had to like drive off the highway to some podunk town and charge the car for like 45 minutes just to get to 80%. Yeah. So one charge takes 3 times more than 3 power swaps, and you get less energy. It's crazy how big the advantages of power swap actually is.
So if you have enough power swap stations, you don't even need the 150 kilowatt battery, which is very expensive.
Yeah.
It doesn't take that much time to swap the battery. In under 4 minutes, you have the full battery again. So that's so convenient.
Yeah, you can keep that larger battery for like a really long road trip, where the distance between the swap may be beyond your range. Then you just upgrade for like a day, 1 day trip, upgrade for a day. I'm not sure in Europe you have that upgrade option already. Like
not yet.
Okay.
Because of laws also that the battery, the weight of the car has to do with the weight of the car has to be always the same weight. So you cannot change between 75 or 100 kilowatt battery.
Maybe they can have some bricks on the side of the power swap station. You can load them into your car when you swap.
They are.
Oh, the regulations. Is it like?
Yeah,
it's a regulation.
Yeah.
The curb weight need to be the same or something when you register the car.
License plate, you get a paper and they weigh the car. Like your car is 2 tons, and next time he's 2 tons and 50 kilograms. That's not possible. So now NIO is in talk with governments here in Europe to have this kind of thing changed, just to have this upgrade possibility available.
I mean, if you have an empty gas tank and then you have a full gas tank, you have a different weight of your car, right? So it's the same it's the same concept.
Yeah. It's the same thing, I think. It's the same thing.
Yeah. And
by the way,
it works slow to change things here. It takes time. Yeah.
Is that Marnix? Is that every country in the EU? Is that like an EU regulation, or is it country by country?
It's a EU regulation. Yeah.
And because of that EU regulation, that's why you need to have the Type 2 charger, which means it's a good thing. They don't implement only the DC charger for the car exported to Europe. So that's good. Which means if they go to UK, to Australia, it will adopt the Type 2 and CCS, which is good.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, this is the one. It's the same specification. Okay.
Yeah.
I believe that's also a NIO user, right? Tiao Guin Ho, I believe. You should be a NIO user, right?
Oh yeah? In Europe?
I believe so. In Europe, I believe so, yeah.
If you are, do let us know which model you use, and would you love to upgrade it?
Very similar name. Yep, same name actually, exact same name as on my friend on the NIO app in Europe. So welcome
cool.
to the channel. Yes.
Cool. Welcome to the show. Thank you.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah. This is one of the many worry also, because BYD, we know that in China alone is like a mass produced, right? It's everywhere.
Yeah.
And it is wide range from the price of like $10,000, even less actually. Their cheapest one maybe like $8,000 if I'm not wrong. And full EV, like full BEV, right? Up to like the price of slightly cheaper than ET5, sort of. But they do have their expensive line also, like Yangwang, the brand, the luxury brand they have, you know. But the perception of the brand is still might be seen as the Chinese mass car.
But I feel like it
And
could
if
be
they-
also a good thing, right? If BYD goes there and is successful, even if people understand it's not like a luxury brand, it's not the best brand, but just having the mindset that it's okay for a Chinese company to
For a
sell
Chinese
cars in Europe, it could be a good opportunity or a good benefit for NIO as well.
Wow! Another fellow ET7 owner,
Should
Magnus.
be in
Your friend
Netherlands,
here.
I believe. Should be Netherlands, I think, to me.
The Netherlands.
I think so.
Did you use Magnus referral code, or
I think he might have used my
or maybe
referral
Magnus
code.
used his? Maybe, I don't know.
We've corresponded a little bit on the NIO app, and he's a really nice person.
Yeah,
I think
we might ask you to come and join us on our show next time. Yeah,
for sure.
if we pronounce the name right.
Yeah.
How to pronounce his name? I don't want to like embarrass myself. Yeah, we will invite you, Mr. ET7 owner in Netherlands, who will join our podcast. All right. I think we're kind of okay for all of the comments as the questions and all. So, Canadian friends from Canada, I think.
Canada, yeah.
Thank you, Peter.
Welcome to the show.
Welcome to the show, Peter.
Peter's
Your
always
friend.
on our channels. Love Peter.
Oh, this is interesting one. Please discard the avatar photo, yeah. Okay. Hopefully, if NIO comes to Thailand, it will be great, right? Yeah, in Thailand, we got a slightly different approach to promote the EV from China. So the Chinese EV, when they sell in Thailand, right? If they committed to have a factory there, they can now sell the completely built unit, like imported from China, free of the import tax, free of some certain taxes within the country. So they have a really benefit on setting up the price and all, right, compared to Tesla or some other guys like European and all. So now Thailand in Thailand now is all flooded with the Chinese EV. In the last year motor show before the year end, the sales number of Japanese brand, if you sum it up, all Japanese, it was trailed by Chinese brand by like a few hundreds. And Chinese, they just started a year and a half ago, man. They already get close in terms of number to the Japanese. And Japanese was like it's like a king over there, right? It's like everyone drive Toyota, Honda, and all. So Japanese mass cars is always like the main ruler of the land there. So, but now Chinese EV is growing heavily there. So
The Chinese car sold in Thailand, what's the percentage of EV versus ERV versus ICE? Do you know?
zero EV. ICE is still the main, but this year the sales of ICE dropped, EV increased. So the ratio is shifted. Now it's like I think close to 20%, if I'm not wrong. For Thai viewers, maybe they know better. You can type down the figure. I think it's more than 10% already.
And it's mostly BYD and Great Wall, like Aura and
BYD
Power.
BYD is the most sold car over there for the EV from China, and I'm not sure which one was the second. I think Chang'an Depot and Ion, GAC Ion, and all. So a lot of Chinese branded. Like if you group them up, it's really like a few hundreds behind the Japanese one.
In Thailand,
So what?
is there a market for NIO in Thailand at this moment? Or?
I'm trying to promote a lot actually.
Yes,
But yeah, a lot of people knows and aware of NIO,
Mhm.
right? But it's just like because the price of NIO itself, to get the benefit from the government subsidy and all, the price is above. It's way too high.
Yeah.
And they
So-
have to like sort of commit to have a factory in Thailand. I don't think that's gonna happen, right? That's not gonna happen, right? So it can be, but it's gonna be like similar to a Volvo or some luxury brand in Thailand. They need to present themselves and place their position as a luxury brand.
Yeah.
That's the only
every
way,
time.
I think.
Every time I'm in Bangkok, I see tons of luxury cars there. It must be some sort of market, right? So
There will be, and you are not limited number of cars you can own, right? So like in China
Which-
here, one plate, one driver license, right? So over there, I mean, one driver license, one household, you can have like 10, 20 cars, no problem. So for sure, some rich guys would have all lines of NIO ET7, USA, packed up, possible.
ET9.
ET9, yeah, with the champagne glass. A lot of road bumps in Thailand. You don't need to mind at all, actually.
Does anybody know how much pre-orders on the ET9 that there are now?
You know, Mr. P, the figure?
No, but I had an estimate from one of the NIO managers. He said that when deliveries start, they're probably going to be like a couple hundred deliveries only. So it's not like a whole lot because the car is kind of expensive.
Yeah, but I think there's a big market for that car. I believe so. If I see how many expensive German cars are being sold, I think the ET9 is going to do well.
Yeah. And if the hi-fi dies like Mr. P is predicting, then there goes 100 of those every month
Yeah.
off the market.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah. It would be a direct alternative from Hi-Fi Cell to ET9.
Yeah. I mean, similar size and price and features, relatively. Very, very different cars, but also similar.
Hi-Fi is like the concept car you can buy, It's like
Yeah.
a concept car that you can actually buy. So
I think they're selling in Europe too, right?
I don't know. They're selling it in Europe.
yeah. They
think
have
so.
a regional manager or some like doing some marketing there in Europe as well.
Okay.
Yeah. See, consumer in Thailand, they need more choice than Mercedes and BMW.
Yes, it's true.
Yeah, need more choice. Let me see if I missed something.
So get your questions in, guys. Go ahead, Ting.
Yeah, just some question from Peter here. NIO and EU expansion seems not a priority. Oh, how's the investigation goes? Like Chinese car manufacturer, even BMW was investigated, right, for the iX3 that manufactured from China.
Yeah, it seems like I think the priority is more like to conserve cash because when they laid off about 10-20% of their workforce, NIO, they shifted the targets from 5 years to 2 years.
Mhm.
And it's more like to have projects that really contribute positively to the overall like balance sheet. So they kind of pushed back or delayed or canceled projects that will not immediately see benefits within the next 2 years. So that strategy became quite clear. And what's even more ridiculous is quite recently when XPeng launched the X9, the CEO said that their time frame is even shorter. NIO's time frame is 2 years, must have like a positive impact. XPeng CEO is 1 year. So it's just very competitive,
Yeah.
and they're all trying to like conserve cash to make sure that they're able to make it out of the elimination round like fully standing and no problem at all. So that's the priority.
I think NIO's priority too for Europe will be their sub brands more moving forward than the main brand. At least that's my feeling from talking to some people. I know they're working hard on Firefly and Alps as well.
Mhm.
So probably want to compete with MG and BYD.
This one, I believe, is a question for China. because EREV there are not many in Europe or elsewhere, right? I think. But
Yeah.
actually, right now the EREV, for example, all of them they cannot get the green plate in Shanghai. I think one of the
Yeah.
Not anymore.
one of the estates. So there are a
Shanghai
lot
did
of
that.
distinguished. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, Shanghai has that distinction where EREV is still like considered a gas car, and like you basically don't have the benefits of EV. But here, like here in Beijing, like EREVs and EVs in general have both used to have 0% taxes in general, and but now even here in Beijing, the license plate used to be if you have you have to have a gasoline permission to buy EREV. So with gasoline permission, you can buy EREV or EVs. But then if you have an EV permission here in Beijing, you can only buy EVs. But at certain other cities, even if you have an EV permission, you're not allowed to buy a gasoline vehicle. You could still buy a EREV. So that's why at a lot of other cities, Li Auto really sells well. EREVs really sell well because they can't buy a gasoline car, but EREV is a electric vehicle with extended range. That's what they call it, but it's actually just gasoline. Yeah. So there's policy like that, which I think like a lot of people agree that it should have been separate, right? Like EREV should never be considered new energy vehicle. It should have just been like gasoline car. But they wanted to promote the expansion into greener energy vehicles, new energy vehicles. So any even those EREVs with bigger battery packs, slightly bigger battery packs, okay, and just a bit more full electric range, they qualify as EREV. They can get a license plate that is green. Yeah, so this is pretty stupid, I think. Yeah.
So Shanghai, in a lot of ways, is kind of a leader, at least culturally and in a lot of different ways, I guess. Do you think that other cities will follow suit, P, that with Shanghai's lead?
Pardon me. I think definitely, and it depends on a lot of like regional government stuff, because all the stuff is done by like the regional government. It's not the national government. So it depends what they think. So, and that's like very different. So some cities might not even care. So it's a tough one.
Ooh. Is this in China? Must be in China. So
Probably.
Daniel said
on
like
WeChat,
hi-fi, yeah, must be in China. So they must have changed the sale or something. Well, it's tough competition here.
Yeah.
Really
So
tough
what happened with
competition.
them? I'll like talk a bit more about it. So I actually talked about it in my video 2 days ago, but they apparently owe their suppliers money. They're not paying their suppliers. The suppliers are protesting outside their headquarters, and this is all like with pictures, okay? And then also employees, a lot of their benefits were gone. Like no more cafeteria meals. Like what? Like you think that's not a place where you want to cut costs. Their cafeteria money is frozen. A lot of the projects are like canceled. Like it's just a big mess. But this is all like online rumor. Might be true, might not be true. But it seems like I've seen the pictures of the protests. It seems like it's actual true that they do owe suppliers money, and the suppliers aren't getting paid. So yeah, I mean, even the Li Auto store that's really close to me, they absorbed the hi-fi store next to it. So yeah, we'll have to see.
Big fish eat a small one. Actually, a small one is more expensive.
Yeah.
Hey, do we think we make profit selling chips? Because now we are having a 5 nanometer, right? Well, it will come with ET9, but like it have some separate product line just for this to other brands. Would make good profit, because chip is like a heart of autonomous and everything. So
I think with NIO, they probably will just want you to buy their car and not like sell the chips out. And also, the thing is, production of the chips might be like a challenge, all right, going forward, because of it's probably going to be made by TSMC, and then we'll have to see how like geopolitics affect that. But they're definitely going to keep it to themselves. The whole reason that they self-developed it is so that they have it and nobody else has it, so that their cars are the best. Yeah.
Elimination round. He must have watched your hi-fi video, the news you put back a couple of days back.
Yeah.
But it's tough. Like if supplier stand in front of the company holding the banner that pay us, it just looks bad. I'm not sure it's true, but if that's true, it's really bad.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, that looks pretty bad.
It's elimination round, but you still got new players jumping in. It's kind of, it's like it's never ending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's pretty hard. Weltmeister is already dead. Yeah. Weltmeister,
anyone took?
Yeah,
anyone
back a
took
couple
Weltmeister?
years ago. Back a couple
Anyone
years
bought
ago,
them out?
Weltmeister.
Sorry.
Yeah, they used to be like one of the biggest competitors, right? Like even NIO, they did some research on their cars. They even bought a Weltmeister and like took it apart and do research. But now, there's no internet for the car. Can you imagine that? You can't even turn on AC remotely. There's no like there's no service. Insurance companies reject offering insurance for the car because you can't get access to parts. It's just ridiculous. So like, yeah, whenever you see like a Weltmeister on the road, stay away from it, because like if you bump into
I
it,
saw a few
I don't know,
today.
like it's gonna like cost you a ton to find those parts.
Do you see many on the road anymore? I used to see a ton, but I hardly ever see them anymore.
I
you
saw
see some.
2 of them today.
Okay, well, two's not too many for Beijing, right?
2 in a row, like boom, and then another one, boom, like in a row. On the way back from when I took the Avatar 1-2, they tried to race me, but I don't want. I was on autonomous, so I let it drive. I don't want to. But no one bought them out, right? Any big company bought them out, or it's just like bankruptcy and no further action, or what? Like out. What?
I've heard that there's some like it's gonna be sold to some other company that's like not auto related, but I'm not too sure about that. But I think the impact of this is the fact that a lot of people don't have the full trust in like buying EVs, and there's like even quite recently there's been a lot of like the BS online saying like NIO's gonna go bankrupt and that kind of stuff. And even the NIO's president had to come out and publicly say that NIO will not go bankrupt. Like, I mean, like, come on, it's gotten to that point where like so many people saying that that you shouldn't buy like a new energy vehicle because you might end up being the next Weltmeister. So this is pretty stupid, and it does really hurt like EV sales in general, or like a lot of like I guess not super big brands. Like for example, if you go to friends and relatives here in China right now, and then you tell them that I want to buy a new energy vehicle, and you tell them I'm going to buy a NIO, some of them will think like, why are you not buying a Li Auto? Which is the weirdest thing ever right now. That's the situation. That's just weird. So I guess it's really about like it's really about marketing, I guess. Yeah.
You remember Eric?
What's that?
A new member? Yeah.
Oh yeah. She's barking, so I don't want her to.
One of the NIO owner.
She loved the car.
One of the NIO owners owner.
Gotta stop.
Hey man, this is something which is like we need to set it right? I mean, Manixia is one of the example. He rarely swapped the battery, but NIO can charge, and it can charge at 11 kilowatt AC. Yeah, So it's not like a baby charger. So it's like you can really charge both DC and AC. And also, I mean, we need to set it straight. If anyone asks you or like diss you about NIO can only swap the battery, so you need to find station only. Do educate them. Except Mr. P, he didn't use the charging port at all. I think this guy.
Yeah, I haven't charged in like 2 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just swapping, like, because like, you know, charging seems like such a big waste of time now, and it's so convenient. I have the service center station is really close, and I go there and chat up with some of the NIO owners, so some of the sales reps, help out with some sales, and maybe get a drink, maybe get a coffee, and yeah, even if there's a lineup, I mean, I don't mind, but still, I think it's faster than charging.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Including the line, you still get it faster than you plug it in, and then 40 minutes, right? Like
Yeah,
queue line
definitely.
in front of you is still faster.
Yeah.
USA enter. Yeah, I've seen some of the interview of the NIO president or NIO president or CEO of NIO in US. There's one like Indian guy. I'm not sure. He looks Indian to me, right? Is that for NIO San Jose R&D
NIO
or is that...
CEO USA? NIO USA CEO. Yeah, nice guy. Talk to him. Yeah.
Cool. Maybe he would be interested to.
Yeah, I have his WeChat.
Yeah.
I can reach out.
We only invite the credible people to be on our show.
We need to get a few thousand subscribers, get some real recognition, so everybody subscribe. And then
yeah, guys, if you're not done yet, please click subscribe to Blue Sky Coming, the NIO podcast. Please do. We will reach the goal that we can have a backend to invite some cool people to come have discussion with us.
With regards to entering, go ahead. I was going to say, with regards to entering USA, I don't see them entering in 2025. No, I think that I made a video on it too. Like, you know, he talked about that's the plan, but that doesn't, you know, they haven't come out with a new plan. So that's what the company line is going to continue to be until they make a real announcement about what their actual real plan is. But I don't see it happening personally.
But they do still have research and development for autonomous and everything in San Jose. Was that still on, right? Still going on.
They have a big, nice office there.
Cool. Ooh, talking about 2024, what is the pressing area of improvement? In Europe or in China or in general?
Do both.
Let's do both.
Yeah.
What do you think, Magnus, for Europe? You think...
for Europe, yeah, I'm not sure. I think they
official in Belgium, man. You should say that official in Belgium first, then we discuss.
Yes, Belgium first, of course, and UK. I think the UK is going to be a good market. It's a big market anyway. You don't have like Germany is a big market, but yeah, you have the German brands and then Germans and their cars. It's a very difficult thing. But you don't have this problem in the UK. They don't tend to want a Porsche or a Mercedes, or they just got to drive. They just want a good car, and I think NIO is. I think the ES6 and the Touring is going to do great, just great at this prices in the UK. Yeah, they should enter very, very quickly there before somebody else. Takes away all the cream from the cake. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's a major thing for NIO to do, entering the UK market. Yeah. Maybe before Belgium. Yeah. Get sales up. Yeah.
Yeah. And you get some of the sales from Thailand. They're gonna buy a car from UK and then ship it over to like you.
Yes.
Official like you. Yes. I have many people lined up already.
Yeah. And if they start in France also, and they're in the Netherlands and France, we're just this little piece in between. We're not so small, Belgium, so that's not an issue here. Yeah. They can set up one one NIO service house for the whole country here, I think. Yeah.
For me, I guess I'll say that I think their most pressing issue is their messaging. I guess that's marketing as well. I just think that they really have a tough time selling the benefits of, I mean, even just selling the idea of battery swap, but the benefits of it, but also the benefits of the community. Like for people who are just joining us, Marnix already talked about it too. He feels the community is really an important part of NIO as well in Europe, in China. Like, you know, when I bought my car, I didn't really understand the benefits of the community and how positive the impact and the experience would be. And even just here, we have this community of NIO users here on this podcast. It's great. Like I met Marnix, I met Mr. P, I met Ting. Like it's so many great things about the community that it's just hard to convey, you know, in typical advertising or social media. So it's really tough.
And it's not, if I may add, it's not like a boys club. It's a family thing also at NIO.
And it's authentic. Like people genuinely,
not just
people.
It's not a big boys club.
And it's authentic. People genuinely enjoy like the interactions and going to the activities. And
I've only met kind people so far.
What about you, Mr. P? Education.
The most pressing thing, I agree with Eric, has to be first of all marketing, yes, for battery swap, but also like I think very importantly is to get the refresh out for the chips. 8295, get that out. I think some customers are holding back because of that. So that, and also the sub brand, get that thing out there as fast as they can, because you know if somebody buys the Zeekr 007 or buys a Xiaomi SU7, I mean, what are the chances that they're gonna buy another NIO sub brand car within 2024, right? So this is you know, it's a fight to be best, but it's also fight to be earliest. And you know, if you get the sale, they're not gonna buy the other brand within any time soon. So yeah, I hope they can get the sub brand out there as fast as they can.
So there are some rumors that they will show it, the Alps model, in the first quarter now of 24, and there is already the second quarter. You think that's possible?
Yeah, possible, like next 3 months, and then they probably might launch it by like summer, and then have deliveries in like Q3.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, let's hope so.
Okay.
When I was at the F2 factory in Hefei, there was one line building Alps cars already. So
there you go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Did you share a photo on your X? No.
No.
Oh,
No.
They don't allow you to.
No
Yeah.
video, nothing.
Okay.
No.
No. Wow.
So did you see the body of the car or the cars?
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's like built on the same. It's like built on the ET5 model. It's
Saloon type, like the aim for the
a bit
fatter.
A little bit higher, I think. Yeah.
So it's like a
flatter
Model Y kind of flatter Model Y.
Yeah, but they will building chassis there for Alps already, so I'm guessing we're not too far off then.
Yeah, definitely.
I think we S3.
That was on the full automatic production line, so yeah.
Us three need to head to Hefei and go check that out.
Yeah.
This is interesting. The multi-purpose swapping station. I saw one of the guys share in WeChat group for the pattern of the swap and the smart vending machine. You saw the one, Eric?
Yeah.
You saw that one, right?
I didn't see.
So it's basically for the newer version, the newer upgrade of the software, you can actually leave the screen on while you're doing a swap, right? And that pattern may be tied up with that thing along with the when you are swapping, you can choose the stuff you want to buy, and then it just roll up to your window. You roll on the window and take it. So
Yeah.
your 3 minutes of swap, it's gonna get even faster because because you're doing a really quick shopping over there, and then by the time it's done, it's already finished, right? Sort of. So it maybe count down the time. You need to pick the item before the time is running out because the battery is about to finish, and then you got the smart vending like structure to sell your stuff and all. So interesting. That could be one of the cool stuff to experience in the future. Yeah. Tesla always have their own idea, right? They have their own. If you buy the car ready, I mean, if the battery dies out, if anything happens, it stay with the car, right? So at least with NIO, you can upgrade anytime.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah, on that topic, apparently Xiaomi's car is also gonna have like structural battery pack. So yeah, very
for the
stupid
announcement,
thing.
Yeah. Surprisingly, ET9 is coming with not 150 kilowatt hour, but 120, the 900 volt, 120 kilowatt hour, right? So that's another. So now we would have like 4 types of the battery in the station. 725, the standard range, the 100 kilowatt hour, the long range, the ultra long range, 150, and the luxury, I don't know how you call it, the luxury ET9 exclusive, 120. But that would go with the PSS 4.0, I think, because it's like 900 volt, right? It may only be available only in version 4 of the swap station.
Well, the batteries can be available in every single swap station. The reason they had to build that battery is because the current battery 175, they don't support the high voltage charging for like super high voltage. So they had to build a new battery pack for that. So we'll probably see like 4 types of batteries in swap stations in the future.
And not the sub brand or the partner like Chang'an, Geely, and or if they have their own car running out in the future, they would have different form factor and everything. So on the swap station 3 and 4, it would be a bunch of different battery, in the end, I think.
Yeah, and yeah, that's true. And you can also think about it this way, because 150 they'll probably only have one. All right. And the 120 they'll probably also only have one, because ET9 they're not going to be that many ET9s. So yeah, so that means there's still like 20 of the other batteries. And the other thing that could be possible is NIO could slowly eliminate some of the batteries. All right, because before, a long time ago, back in like 2018, 2019, NIO used to have an 84 kilowatt hour battery pack. But now that's nowhere to be seen. It's gone. So it's very possible that as time progresses, the ones that are very outdated are just not needed. Yeah.
Is it possible that NIO can use degraded 100 kilowatt batteries as a 75 kilowatt battery?
I don't think they'll do that. But what happens when batteries are degraded is they take apart the cover of the battery pack, and then they swap out the modules inside. There's like 30 plus modules, and whichever one is degraded, they switch that one out, and then they replace that with a new module. So the overall health of the battery is always like very good, like 90% health.
Yeah.
So that's why that's how they're able to keep every battery pack healthy for a cheap price, and not like replace it every time it goes below 90%. So that's I don't think that they're gonna give the 100 to the 75 users. No. Yeah.
Actually, the 75 kilowatt hour hybrid battery, the battery management system is really super advanced, huh? Because when you mix between the NMC chemistry and the LFP, the voltage are different, right? But when you add it all up in series, the BMS has to be really super smart to manage, the corner, the corner cell, the corner modules, they use the NMC, right? And then the rest they use LFP. So it has to be really super smart to manage which one goes how much and how to direct the current to balance all of these modules. I mean, I never seen the hybrid battery setup on any other brand, so it's only for NIO. Could be the same for the 150 kilowatt hour as well, because it's a semi solid state, so they might mix the NMC with the solid state and all. We didn't see the full spec yet, but could be some cool tech in there as well.
Yeah.
Well, it was very nice talking with you all.
For sure.
We forget the time, man. Almost 2 hours, Manix.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Longer than expected, huh?
Yeah. So I'm gonna log out.
For sure.
Okay.
Marnix, just want to thank you again for joining us, Marnix, and we really appreciate your time. And everybody
Thank you,
in the
Marnix.
comments, if you have any questions for Marnix, you can go find him on his Twitter.
Yes.
And see you fellas.
Thanks again, Manix. You come again. We'll back you again. We check with the boss. When the boss have time.
Okay. Bye.
Marnix.
Thanks, Manix.
You can find him on X or Twitter. He is a NIO
Yeah,
user
so
in
you all
Belgium.
can follow him on Twitter. The handle is down there. Yeah. Shall we pull maybe a few last questions and then we wrap it up, Eric?
Yeah, it's getting my bedtime here. It's 11:30.
Yeah, man. 11:30 here too.
I know.
Yeah.
I think you guys go to bed later than me.
Last night I went to bed like 1.
Yeah, my bedtime's 10:30 usually.
Oh, still more focus on marketing, right? So, yeah.
Well,
agree.
I think they already know, but also like, like even there's some like guys up top in management that I have their WeChat, and I do tell them things like here and there, but like overall they know the problems. All right, they know the problems, and it's just like whether or not they want to like dedicate resources to it. Yeah, and I guess marketing, they're always thinking of new ways to do it, and but it's always not a priority compared to getting things done. And the phrase they use is in Chinese they say like lower their head and just do the work well. Basically, build the product well, let it speak for itself. Obviously, yes, marketing is very important, but they're working on things. For example, the labeling on top of the swap stations. Yes, that's recently added, but they also thinking about adding like stickers and labeling on the cars. Which car want what award, that kind of stuff, because NIO wins a lot of awards, but they don't showcase that in their showrooms. So they got to find a way to showcase that. So they're also thinking about ways to do that, like maybe add stickers. This one got 5-star safety rating, and then maybe D-Car said this is the best car to buy for the summer test. Boom, have that sticker on the car. I mean, that would really help. And they have different ways of doing things, but it takes time. There's one thing that I've noticed is that there's always a lot of internal debate, all right, within NIO. It's never like a one person says something, slaps the table, and everybody just does it. No, it's always they have like internal debate. They sort of have to agree on things. And one of the things that was really evident was, for example, the ET9 screens, right? We got rear screens for the first time. So apparently the guy really up top at NIO that I know, he vouched for bigger screens. He said himself that he likes like the BMW i7 screens that are like massive on the back, and clearly a lot of people wanted screens. Even though Nio CEO didn't want like screens in the back, he thought like, you know, maybe just AR glasses are good. But it's a whole debate process. There's many people back and forth and coming up with the best idea, best solution. And it's never just like one person slaps the table and says that we're going to do it this way. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of internal discussion about how things are going to go forward, and they're working on it. Yeah.
I think they need to be do not feel shy to brag about what they got, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah,
They got all the
exactly.
right to brag what they have, right?
Yeah,
Right now we are
exactly.
doing that the part of that job, right? Like truthfully, it just come from what I feel, right? How good it is, we just say it. But as the company, I think they need to feel proud to brag about it. I don't know how to put it in words, but yeah, they have to.
Yeah. Bragging does work. Yeah.
It does work, yeah. Partnership for Nio Power, or
Probably for
I think
power swap.
let's say one was Longi, right? But we did hear some sort of rumors like BYD or some other brands as well, right, Mr. P?
Yeah.
But we haven't seen the signing ceremony yet.
So apparently, like
They do
BYD,
not have the infra.
yeah, apparently BYD and Nio, they have a pretty good relationship, the two CEOs, which is pretty surprising. And quite recently, there was another video that I saw in Chinese, and it was a sort of like an Anhui provincial conference. So the the governor was there, and then like Nio CEO was there, and they were talking about like lots of different stuff. And one thing they talked about was how Nio CEO was able to bring BYD to Anhui province and build factories there. And he was very proud of it. And the Anhui guy was also very proud of it. But my general feeling is, you know, it seems like Nio CEO is very close with BYD CEO. And they've always and Nio CEO has always been praising him, like every time it comes up. So there's rumors around that. Yeah.
What about
But like they
Mercedes,
do
Mr.
not
P?
have the infrastructure, right? So it's good to have a good partnership with Nio, which does have all the coverage of the infrastructure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Sorry, you were saying, Eric?
I was saying, what about Mercedes, Mr. P?
Ooh,
Mercedes. Well, you hear a lot of the sales reps here already celebrating, and some of the sales reps are already sharing photos that the deal has already been signed, and that those guys are there. It's just waiting for announcement. So that's pretty crazy to think about. And like lots of these Nio employees saying that it's already done.
So you have
just waiting for announcement.
You have leadership and marketing being humble and quiet, and you have like sales reps like just launching rumors into the rumor mill. It's interesting tactic.
I mean,
interesting tactic.
Yeah, this is pretty interesting. Yeah.
Ooh, okay, this is kind of bold one. Kind of report on an EV to get to the US. Who's the best partner for Nio if they are to, get to the US, you think? I know that everyone
Ford is
adopting the NACS, so they go with the Tesla charger already, which means if Nio is there, Nio might need to change to the NACS charging standards,
So Ford is quite interesting because I actually got like someone sent me an email a few weeks ago, and they worked at the energy charging department in Ford, and he said that they really wanted to partner up with Nio for battery swap, but then they sort of paused discussion because of they just paused it because things didn't work out. But that's a very interesting avenue to look at. Possibly, yeah.
Nio with NACS charging port. Wow. And able to swap the battery. So yeah, we might take some of the Tesla, about to buy a Tesla customer, look at the Nio now. Hopefully,
I got a question for you guys. I don't know if we're doing question and Q&A from
Yeah, yeah.
ourselves, but
Sure.
whenever I go on like the configurator for any kind of car in China, whether it's BYD or Li Auto or Zeekr, I usually get a phone call like after I don't buy the car, like if I put it into my shopping cart or whatever. And Li Auto, absolutely every time I even like open their app, they call me. So like their sales are very high pressure. But whenever I go on NIO and build a car and leave it in the shopping cart, I never get a call from NIO. Have you guys experienced that at all, or the sales tactics?
Okay, Mr. P first.
Well, when I configure a car, I never leave my phone number because I know it's coming. So, yeah. Well, I try
They have your number in the app though. Your number is registered with their app.
I don't log in.
Oh, you
I don't
can,
log
yeah.
in.
You can config just for the price, whatever, but with no login.
Very sneaky, very clever boy.
Yeah.
Smart boy.
Because otherwise, I know phone calls are gonna come, and I don't want phone calls. But yeah, with NIO's policy is they gotta call with if a lead comes in, they gotta call within like 24 hours.
I never get a call from NIO.
unless the situation is you've been labeled as a person that will not buy a car, or potentially a ex-NIO owner, already a NIO owner.
Okay. That could be why.
Yeah, that's probably why. Like you're labeled as a NIO owner, so like it's not like a new lead. But if you had like another phone number, go give it a try. I'm sure they'll call you within like 24 hours.
Like with Li Auto, like even I've told them before, like, hey, I'm not interested in a car. I'm just like playing with the configurator. They still call me again and again and again. Like they never put the check mark next to my name that I'm not interested.
Oh, okay. For me, Li Auto called me only once, and then they know that I just config the car for the video, and then they say, okay, sorry, and then that's it. They never call me back.
Yeah, I guess maybe different city, different strategies or different policies.
Maybe same for NIO. Like after the test drive with you, Mr. P, 2 years ago, remember the ES8 test drive? I got a call after the test drive, and then I just told them that I'm still waiting for the English UI and all. So we still keep looking, and that's the only one call I got until I config the ES6. They got another call, so that's another time where I got more serious call. Like, get a car and all this.
Interesting.
They don't bug you much, I think. Still okay. Otherwise, you feel like, man, this brand just keep bugging me, you know?
Yeah.
It just needs to be at the right amount.
Yeah, they have a whole management system for leads. And if you don't call like a lead within like a certain time frame, it drops and it becomes someone else's lead. And then that means if they end up calling and the customer buys the car, it's got nothing to do with you. So that's why they always call to prevent the leads from like dropping and like going to someone else. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh, I don't think this will come soon, huh? ET7 with the screen now? Any rumors?
Oh, I heard ET7 ES7 refresh.
With the screen in the back?
No screen in the back. No
screen. Okay.
I'm not sure. But I just heard that they said there's going to be a refresh for that. Because the ES7 is like just in dire need of a refresh, because that car is not selling at all. It's basically still I don't want to trash on it, but I would say it's still like a generation 1 sort of vehicle, because the door handles are the same as generation 1 cars. The wheel arches the same, like a lot of stuff still the same as Gen 1 vehicles, but the interior, the quality of material, they use the best aluminum. But I mean, overall, it's not exactly a full 2.0 vehicle. That's what a lot of people are saying. So that's pretty unfortunate. So that's definitely in need of a refresh. Yeah.
It's a great car though. I took that car all the way to Shanghai, and that's the car that I convinced my wife to approve the ES6 purchase. She said the wiper in the back is like it is too visible, so the ES6 is like hidden, right?
Yeah.
under the spoiler, so it looks better. Okay. And she doesn't want the faster one because the ET7 is really fast. I mean, it's quicker than the ET6. Oh yeah. So let's hope we get the good the signing photos, the signing ceremony photo between Li Bin and the chief of Mercedes in China. Yeah.
That'd be nice.
So they prioritize the Chinese brand now for now, like Geely, Chang'an, maybe BYD. Whatever Chinese brand all done, then let's go with the big guys from Germany as well. We honor the Chinese brand first, and then swoop the the German brand as well.
Yeah.
Ooh, this will never happen. Sorry, Jesus.
Yeah. It's
But
not
I
gonna
don't think
happen.
I think it's hard to happen.
No.
I think William Lee would need to bend the knee, right?
Yeah, it may be other way around. because NIO would need to maybe change to the NACS charging port, so they need to use the Tesla ones. So it's other way around maybe.
So
I think we are about it.
yeah.
Otherwise it keep drag on. Question keep coming.
Yeah.
But we thank everyone watching and listening and have this really cool discussion with every one of you, right? All three of us plus Magnus and all the viewers.
And like we said before, you can leave questions, in the comments or email us or on any platform, and we can address the questions next time. So we'll be here every week.
Yeah. And if you want us to invite any guest, do let us know. Send the email. Our email is on about the description of the channel. Do send the email, let us know. And then I think that's about it. We should wrap up this EP before Mr. P not up in the car. Man, you're gonna need to drink, man. I think you need to clear up a little bit.
Thanks everybody for joining us. I really appreciate it. I know we all do.
Thanks
Thanks Marnix again.
And, yeah, and good morning to all, and good night to everyone wherever you are. And we'll see you in the next podcast.
For sure. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.